So, I've been playing Genshin since 1.2, and I'm a pretty big fan, to the point that I play 2 accounts. I take my time to do the events on my North American account, but usually on my European account I end up rushing it on the last day or two. For this event, outside the canvas, inside the lens, I thought I would try to speedrun the whole thing on my Europe account and see how fast I can do it. Unfortunately, I'm also terrible at this, so I took some time to list out all the requirements to build a perfect party, and the times to build a perfect route. In the end, if you start in the morning and go through in order, it seems like it will work out. No cycling a whole day around required. So, once I have my list of requirements, it's time to pick a perfect party. Lisa is a must for all the Catalyst and Electro needs, as well as Knight of Favonius coverage. Wasn't 100% sure she counts for that, and I've never used her before, but anyway. After that we have Yunjin, who I have not even leveled up, but is a polearm, Geo, and from Liyue, so she'll be perfect. Next is Animo, and Sucrose is my best Animo, and of course Sayu for the Animo resonance and movement speed. Perfect team. Okay, maybe I should admit that this is just a theoretically perfect team with the characters I have. Unfortunately, I have not used Lisa period. I have not even touched Yunjin, who I pulled in this most recent banner. And neither of them have any kind of gear, so anytime you run into enemies, it's gonna be a mess. But with hope in my heart and a will to do a speedrun for the first time ever, I set up my party valiantly and get ready to go. Genshin maybe level 1 was not ideal, so just pop a couple books in there. Artifacts. Well, that build's gonna have to do, so let's get the time changed and let's get started, was what I was thinking at the time. Only to then realize I probably should charge Lisa's burst first. I think it counts as prep time if I do it before I actually start, and this is where I ran into my first real issue, and that is that I have no idea how to use Lisa at all. I'm using her skill, she's not generating any particles, and it's going miserably, so, you know, I just grab a couple particles and then make one bad switch and die. So that was a waste of time, which is when I decided that I would try and heal versus this guy for some reason, which was again, a very dumb idea. I was not making very good decisions today. And that's about when I realized this isn't going to work, so I thought, hey, we're gonna fight some Hilichurls in Mondstadt, and forget about that mess that I just went through. No problem. So, just teleport somewhere that I thought was close to some Hilichurls, but turns out it wasn't. And of course on the way, with the kleptomaniac kind of feelings, I pick up everything that I see. But there are Hilichurls relatively nearby. I still didn't realize how to use Lisa though, so I just killed some stuff and swapped in to grab the death particles. And it's finally here that I realized, oh, only her hold skill generates the particles, which is nice, because it would have been nice to know that before. Not that it would have helped, because on that first guy I definitely would have died while trying to hold. So, finish off a couple Hilichurls, generate some particles, ready to rock and roll. We are almost done with the fast-forwarded section, because who really wants to watch an absolute amateur try and figure out how to generate energy as if it's their first day playing despite being adventure rank 55 on an alt account? Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. So it's time to put the time back, now that we are fully charged, and get started on this race like I actually know what I'm doing. Which I don't. 100%. This is going to be a mess, I can feel it, but we're gonna do it anyway. So, check out our first location, head to Mondstadt, and I start my timer the moment that I equip my camera and the menu closes. Unfortunately, not only am I not exactly great at the game that I love apparently, I'm also not exactly great at editing video. So I'm sure there's a good way to put a timer on the actual screen, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, step 1. Animo. Facing camera. 3 spots. How did I screw it up that bad? I don't know. So, let's try again. Still though? Not entirely sure how I failed on that one. Twice on the first one in a speedrun, but you know, it's well fitting with what happens the rest of it. So, save my picture, you know, posterity, and let's move on. Because after 3 attempts, I have finally passed the first one. Going great. Second, easy peasy. Just facing the camera. Hopefully Lisa counts, is what I was thinking at the time. Because she's just a librarian. I don't know. At least I thought I had to use Sayu. And of course now we're in combat. So look at those excellent combat numbers. And even my best DPS in this party, Sucrose, is unable to do her effective damage versus these guys. So I just resort to sticking them with whatever skills I have. I don't know, man. I'm not good at this. I'm having a bad day. With 2 basic slimes finally taken down, we can take a picture. And now surely I can get this in one try. Wow. I did it. Great. So for Wangshu Inn, we have a lot of flying to do, and of course, when you're flying, despite what Venti says, it doesn't feel like it's that much faster. So I'm gonna pop on my red feather fan, take advantage of that slight little bonus to move speed when you're in the air, but I'm not entirely sure how much of an effect it has, whether or not it's actually worth moving to the menu and switching and coming out, because the speedrun doesn't pause when the menu is up, so... Well, anyway. At least I didn't fly off in the wrong direction. By the blessings of Celestia, the hilly churls don't notice me and I can immediately get to the camera point, but I forgot to equip my camera again. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if equipping that red fan was any better. So, I was a little faster than I expected to, but at least I'm only moving half an hour forward. I'm not wasting a bunch of time waiting for the sun to change, but frankly, that's the least of my worries as far as wasting time goes. So, now that we've got the right time, face the camera, see the inn, take a picture. Surely I can't screw this one up. And I do not. Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. And again, gliding may be faster than running, and it might consume less stamina per distance, but Sayu's kinda got the fastest move speed of any character when you're just dealing with rolling there, so I'm not entirely sure how her climbing speed is though, so back to Sucrose. And who better to stare at Dragon Spine? Albedo's up there somewhere, right? Nice and fast. Now that's proper speedrun etiquette. Wolvendom. So my theory here was I want to take the route that has the most land travel, because Sayu is the master of land travel. I have no idea which way is technically the fastest, and going ahead of time to place a warp point would have been cheating in my opinion. But we only have one shot, because I am terrible at fighting with Lisa, and if I screw up with her burst, we're done. It's over. I mean, it's not over, you can see the duration of the video, but... well, I guess you'll have to wait and see. I'm also of the understanding that the small body type characters have a lower run speed, so I switched to Sucrose and switched back to Sayu once her cooldown is done. Anyway, this is the tough one, and this is really going to be make or break. And of course break, because the camera resets when you first use your burst. But I did manage to squeak it in there on the second one, not a complete failure. I'm very proud of that, to be honest. Now, this one should have been easy. This one should have not been a problem. Character and idle animation. No problem. Just stand here and wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. And Sealy idle animation doesn't count. And wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. Finally! And the picture looks terrible! I took a second one trying to get a better shot and it still looked terrible. Ah, I'm sorry, Yunjin. I let you down. You deserve better. So, for this one, it's up a cliff. You can see that Fatui guy up in the corner there, who I very carefully decided to avoid. Only to get aggroed when I started climbing the cliff. Very wonderful. Fortunately, with Sayu's skill, I escape away, waste a bit more time, like a very professional speedrunner. Fortunately, my method works. The aggro dies down just as I approach back. And we're back to Lisa. I like that one. I really like the pattern that her charged attack makes when she does it. It's very cool. Love the effects. 10 out of 10. Good picture. Now for the second catalyst required one, is she using the default book? Yes, I think she's using the default book. I'm sorry. Alright. Really does look like I got hit with the lightning there, but you know what? I did good. It didn't take any extra time. I think I'm moving fast. We're doing good. The improvements are happening. I'm getting better at this. Maybe I won't be a failure. So I picked the right point to warp to, because I did figure it would be up in the sky, but I also decided that I wasn't going to use the red fan this time to try and increase my flying speed, because it didn't look like it was far enough to warrant the time it would take to open the menus. See, these are careful calculations that I make, despite doing everything else very poorly. Anyway, this is Yunjin's time to shine. Let's get a nice shot. Oh. Yunjin's face! Look at that. Just the right moment to completely ruin her face. I'm sorry. But we'll make it up. We'll make it up to Yunjin. We will use her again here. It is her time to shine. We'll get a beautiful picture of her. It'll look great. And she'll be in the light novel. Now, unfortunately, I forgot that you have to do adjustments of 30 minutes and was trying to do it just to 1600 for far longer than intended. But here we are. Time is right. Find the points. She's staring at those giant chilies a bit much, and I kind of wasn't sure about it. And now you'll see that I also kind of forgot about that photo taking point on the far left there. Dang. I didn't even realize what it was that screwed it up the first time. But again, I think the Sealy is eating my idle animations. Should I have taken the Sealy off? It's so cute though. But we wait. And we wait. And we wait. There we go. So I snapped the shot, intending to get a beautiful picture. And yes, I probably forgot I was speedrunning at that moment, but I also forgot about that third point, so I guess all I can say is thank you for having a long idle animation, Yunjin. Oh, no, I haven't finished the chasm on this account yet. No worries. We will do the second one first. No problem. Easy. Don't even have to look at the camera. 2 points. Take a snap. We're done. I'm sorry, Yunjin. It could have looked much cooler. But here we go. Once again, sadly, we can't teleport directly to it, so next best option. Let's go. I'm definitely a professional speedrunner. You can tell because I thought ahead to check whether or not I had all the warp points that I would need. Yes. This is not the flight of shame. I'm very good at this. Anyway, another easy one for Yunjin here. She's honestly kind of become my MVP in this team, despite the fact that I keep doing her dirty. And I guess it's fine. She looks like she was flying by. It's fine. Now, before whatever enemy that is comes to get us, time to move on. We're down to the final two. This can't be that hard. Knock him out, real easy, pop pop. Fortunately, I have finished all my teleport waypoints in Inazuma, so it's not like I'm going to run into any issues with this. And this should be pretty easy, right? Nothing fancy required anymore. We're running a little bit ahead of schedule, but frankly, we can look at that as me actually having done a relatively decent job of timing it, because we're not falling behind the in-game time. Anyway, easy peasy, face the camera, use an attack. And wow, I missed the most important part. There's a photo taking point way up in the sky. Great job, me. I'm great at this. But finally, we have an excellent photo of Yunjin. She looks beautiful here in her purple outfit. 10 out of 10. No comments besides the fact that I failed the first one. And we are finally on to the last photo point. Which, of course, just happens to be Amakane Island, which is the most annoying place to get to in Inazuma. I mean, it's not really, but I kind of wish the teleport waypoint was a little bit closer. I mean, you gotta go there for your weekly things. What are they called? Not the bounties. The other thing, anyway, I often have to go there for it, and it's a pain to run all the way there because it's so far. I mean, it's not far, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so upon arriving on the island, I take a peek around, realize it's a little higher up, and again waste time backtracking when I could have just kept rolling forward and around. But here we are, the final point. I'm sure I can get a good photo. There's nothing hard on this one, just an elemental skill and the view of the mountains. Easy peasy, let's go. Not bad, but you can't even see the mountains that we're supposed to be looking at. I'm glad it still counts. And there we are. 13 minutes and 42 seconds. Can I say congrats to me for taking less than a minute per picture? Average? I'm pretty sure I took more than a minute each on the ones where I was waiting for the heckin' idle animation to start. I don't know. My Sealy might have been eating my idle animations. I intend to add a complaint about that to the feedback for the next patch. Obviously, the most important thing here is that Sealies and idle animations should happen at the same time very frequently. I love idle animations, no complaints about those. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. Anyway, with that done, there's only one thing left to do, and that's collect all my awards and prizes, and then, of course, immediately go to the gacha and use it all. Because why not? I love Ayato. He's amazing. Looks cool. This account is kind of cursed that I never get any of the cool dudes on it, but you know, maybe this time it'll be broken, please? No. And of course, you already know that I'm recording this afterwards, so I already knew that it wasn't going to happen, but there you go. Whole event done. 13 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh no, that's not what the video is, but that's, it then. I'm very sorry for having put you through that. If you watched the whole thing, I'm very, very sorry. Please enjoy the animation of the Primo Gems popping in and the pictures that I took as they appear on screen.